Good morning and welcome to another Glenn Maney Talks Chelsea. I hope you're all doing well. Sorry there's no Chelsea background this morning. This is being done on the rush because I'm out to work. Yes, last night it was Malmo 0, Chelsea 1, and what a battle it ended up being. Few factors involved, but hats off to Malmo. Although there were plenty of dark arts out there, they were totally committed. And when you see people fist pumping because they've put a ball out for a corner and high fiving because they've got a corner, you know you're probably going to be up for a battle. They're no mugs because they're in the group stage of the Champions League and they had to play 8 games to get into that group stage. So hats off to them, and you've got to use what you've got, I guess, even though it wasn't pretty. So last night we had Mendy in goal, we had Aspi at right wing back, we had Marco Alonso at left wing back. Both the wing backs obviously changed. In the middle it was same as usual really, Christensen, Thiago Silva and Rudiger. In midfield we had Jorginho and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. Just in front of them we had Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech, and up front we had Kai Havertz again. Now, before I score them, I would just like to say something. I don't know if anyone else noticed this, because we've had him before and I didn't like him, and we had him last night and I honestly thought Felix Brych, the German referee, was incredibly biased. I mean, in that game we had 9 fouls, they had 12, but they had 12 because another 12 were just ignored. And a couple of repeat offenders in the Malmo side just got away with it scot-free. I had to laugh when I looked at the name of one of them, Bonky Innocent. He was anything but innocent. Bonkers maybe, but time and time and time after again he was fouling our players, not a card in sight. Joe in Berger, great big Viking looking guy who goes down if the wind's in his face, and Lasse Nielsen and Franz Brorison, they seem to take it in turns, and the Lasse Nielsen one was a particularly nasty tackle. A guy called Erdal Rakip who must have, if you changed shirt with him, the back of the shirt would have been green because he spent most of his night on the floor rolling around, holding his face once when he got caught on the back of the head. I don't know how that one works. But yeah, Felix Brych, Germany, he let an awful lot go. And don't get me wrong, I'm all for letting a lot more go. But at least be fair on both sides. As I say, can't argue with Thiago Silva booking. Pulled the geezer back in an area where he had to really. And you can't really argue with a Ruben Loftus-Cheek booking, only the fact that there was a lot worse going on by them, and they got away with it. It reminded me, I thought to myself, I hope we don't get this Felix Brych in a semi-final or something, because I know it's going to be like 2009. Do you remember Tom Henning Overbo, his name was? And yeah, well, you remember that night when we had penalty after penalty after penalty turned down and foul after foul after foul ignored against Barcelona in the semi-final. And I reckon if we got that Felix Brych, I'd be watching a replay of that. Hope I'm wrong. He won the Globe Soccer Awards referee of the year in 2017. I don't suppose they got very high standards unless they're all English haters, I don't know. So yeah, Chelsea last night, 22 shots, Malmo had 4. The tail of the tape tells it really. We had 11 on target, they had none. Another nice quiet night for Mendy. Possession, we had 73%. Passing, 679, nearly 700 passes to their 57. Our passing accuracy was 86% and theirs was 60. Fouls, we had 9, they had 12. Yeah, 12 coming on 30. And we had 2 yellow cards and they had none. Funny enough, I don't want to keep going on about this referee, but he's the guy that Jurgen Klopp moaned about in the European the Champions League. So perhaps just doesn't like English. Perhaps he's I don't know. I don't like to be, I don't like hark back to the war. But perhaps he's got some gripe against the English. I don't know. Perhaps he's Hitler's godson or something. Who knows? So yeah, first half, them fouling us a lot, us champing at the bit, and not really achieving much. When I was watching that last night, I was thinking of this on social media. This Eden Hazard debate, for 34 million, I think it is. Would you sign him back? And as I said yesterday, it's not just a question of that. It's a question of how much money would the club make in merchandising of his shirts, etc., worldwide. And if it was 70 million and he's only costing 34, it'd be a no-brainer to have someone like that with a right medical team behind him, sitting on the bench. That's just my thoughts anyway. So that's what was going through me head. So we get to half time, and apparently Arno Michels, who's a coach under Tuchel, suggests that they swap Callum Hudson-Odoi and Ziyech. They move Callum Hudson-Odoi over to the right and they switch Ziyech to the left in the second half. And the rest is history. Great bit of work by Havertz, which went unmentioned, down on the line. Put Callum Hudson-Odoi through. Excellent pass. As soon as that defender missed it, Ziyech, it would have been harder to miss and score, although you know what we're like. And Ziyech put it away nicely, which he deserved, because by Ziyech's standards, and I'm becoming more and more frustrated with him. He had a decent game last night. He looked up for it. He done some defensive duties, and it was nice to see him get a goal as a reward for that. That might spur him on. We might see the real Ziyech in future. So yes, and that was it really. The only other good thing that I can think of is Pulisic was back. He came on in the late in the second half, last sort of 15-20 minutes. Would have been offside anyway, but had a chance round the keeper and missed. But he's been out since God was a lad, so I'll give him that one. But it was nice to see him back. Do you know, if that lad could stay fit, which I've given up with now, I'll be honest, he would be a great player and a great addition to our squad. So yeah, last night, when you think of it, no Lukaku, no Werner, no Mason Mount, no Kante, no Kovacic. You know, what a squad we've got. But it was hard work, and I think with a few of them names back in, it would have been slightly easier. You certainly wouldn't have got Lukaku getting pushed around. But fair play to Havertz. He gave as good as he got. Right, okay. So let's go to the players' scores, shall we? Yeah, Mendy gets a 7. Nothing to do. Didn't do anything wrong. Come out and cleared a ball that was a through ball. That's about all he had to do all night, really. Another night where he can just not bother with a shower, go and put his suit on. And long may that continue, by the way. Ashby did okay. Didn't have an awful lot to do defensively, but when he did, he obviously did it well. We lose a little bit with him going forward from when we play James, but he did okay. In the middle, yeah, Christensen, good game. When they did lump the ball in, he had to be at his best in the air, and he was. Christensen Aspie is going to get a 7.5. Christensen's going to get an 8. Good in the air. Tried getting forward, and yeah, generally a decent game. Thiago Silva's going to get an 8. Always looking to go forward, marshalling defence, pulling them up 10-20 yards to make sure that we put as much pressure on Malmo as possible. Rudiger 7.5. Didn't really have to do an awful lot. Let's be fair. That defence had an easy old night. Really, few times they flattered to deceive, but it says it all. 4 shots, none on target, and it looks like they couldn't hit a barn door. Alonso, he did okay. Yeah, he did okay. A couple of times I thought he could have shot when he chose to pass. Okay, going forward. Out-muscled a couple of times defensively, but did okay. 7.5. No one really bad. No one really exceptional last night, as far as I'm concerned. You tell me if you think different. Yeah, Jorginho, good game. 8. Try to be positive, which is something I've not said about him often in the past. But yeah, decent game. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, he had a horrid first 15 minutes, as I think everyone saw. Gave the ball away, put them on the attack where they could possibly have scored, but grew into the game, and by the end of it, he got a well-earned 8 from me. He's got such talent, that lad, and he's a good physical specimen, which we needed last night, and he did put his weight around. And after, say, that first 15 minutes, and one more ball later on that was a poor ball that I can remember. I think he needs to be a bit more greedy going forward, but yeah, no, decent performance. So Callum Hudson-Odoi, you started on the left, ended up on the right, and Ziyech vice versa. Callum Hudson-Odoi gets an 8 from me. He put the ball across from which we scored. He tried to do any defensive work he needed to do. Got back once and just stopped an attack. Not that there were many. But yeah, decent. I hope he's growing in confidence. He was certainly better when he got down the right, which is something that Tuchel probably noticed. But yeah, decent game. Ziyech is going to get an 8. An 8 from me. Yeah, scored his goal. Worked harder than Ziyech normally works, but that don't mean to say it was a captain of industry performance. But yeah, he could maybe have had another goal as well. Got a couple of shots off. His decision making pass wise was a bit better last night, although a couple of them, I think he's got a club foot with a couple of the passes. So again, always got work to do, but no, decent performance. And Havertz last night, I thought he was good again. He's going to get an 8 from me. Hard physical battle for him. It's hardening him up, these games, if nothing else. It's probably a blessing in disguise. If we're getting away with 1 and 2 nils and without Lukaku and Werner and Mount, it's probably a blessing in disguise because it's hardening him up. I don't think he's had much like this before from looking at his style of play. But you know what? He's starting to give it back. Got brought down the box, but I don't think it was a penalty. I'm not sure what happened, but it didn't look like a penalty. It didn't look deliberate for a start off. I think he might have tripped over his own leg. But always a danger last night. Very intelligent. Lovely little bit of skill to start up the move that resulted in the goal. And yeah, Havertz gets an 8.5 from me. I'm trying to think who I would pick as man of the match. Do you know what? I haven't got one. I think it would probably between. We can't really give it to the defence. I think it would probably be between Jorginho and Havertz if I was giving one, but no, I won't give one last night. Good, positive team performance. At the end of the day, the results all that mattered. They were playing against a biased referee and a team that were using all the dark arts and were tremendously motivated. So what I've got to say is well done, Chelsea. No matter what negativity, I haven't looked at social media yet, no matter what negativity you're getting, with everything combined, I thought that was a good result and a very professional performance. Okay, folks, well, tell me what you think. Probably less of you watching this because I'm not posting these on Facebook anymore. But I hope those that are subscribed pass the word round and tell others to subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you think. That's why I do these, and I'll speak to you soon. Up to Chelsea.